Harry thought he needed 50 dividend stocks to retire early. He was dead wrong. With just 3 ETFs, he now makes over $4,000 a month on autopilot. No stock picking, no micromanaging, no burnout. Most investors overcomplicate everything. But this simple formula, it could replace your salary, and it only takes 30 minutes to set up. Today, I'm revealing the exact 3 ETF formula that can generate lifetime dividend income with minimal effort. We're talking about a financial independence strategy so simple, you could set it up in 30 minutes and forget about it for decades. Educational disclaimer. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not financial advice. By the end of this video, you'll know which 3 ETFs can form the backbone of your retirement income strategy, how much passive income they can generate over time, and why this approach beats individual stock picking for most investors. Here's the problem with traditional dividend income investing. Most people think they need dozens of individual stocks to build a solid dividend income portfolio. They spend hours researching companies, tracking dividend cuts, and constantly rebalancing. Harry fell into this trap. He owned 23 different dividend stocks, spending weekends analyzing earnings reports and worrying about which companies might cut their payouts. His investment portfolio was giving him more stress than income. But then he discovered something that changed everything. 3 ETFs that could do the heavy lifting for him. ETF overview number 1. The High Yield Income Generator. Let me start with the most exciting one first. The fund that's paying investors over 7% annually with monthly distributions. This isn't some risky high-yield trap. It's the JP Morgan Equity Premium Income ETF, ticker JEPI. All ETF performance data is gathered from seekingalpha.com. There's an affiliate link in the description if you'd like to try it. $30 off plus 7-day free trial. JEPI is generating an incredible 7.72% dividend yield as of August 2025. And here's the kicker, it pays monthly. While most ETF dividend funds pay quarterly, JEPI puts cash in your account 12 times a year. But how does it generate such high income? JEPI uses a covered call strategy. It owns large-cap stocks from the S&P 500 and sells call options against them, collecting premium income that gets distributed to shareholders every month. Think of it like being a landlord who not only collects rent from tenants but also charges parking fees. The parking fees are the options premiums, extra income on top of regular dividends. Harry discovered that $100,000 in JEPI generates roughly $642 per month in dividend income. That's $7,700 annually without touching the principal. The fund holds quality companies like Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, and Oracle, names you recognize and trust. It's not some obscure collection of dividend traps. JEPI's secret weapon is its low volatility. With a beta of just 0.59, it moves less dramatically than the broader market. During 2022's bear market, while the S&P 500 fell over 18%, JEPI's maximum drawdown was only 9%. ETF overview number 2, the Quality Dividend Growth Machine. Now let's talk about the fund that's been growing its dividends at double-digit rates for over a decade. Meet the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF, ticker SCHD. This is where dividend growth gets serious. SCHD doesn't just pay dividends, it pays growing dividends. The fund has delivered a 5-year dividend growth rate of nearly 13% annually. Let me put that in perspective. If you invested $50,000 in SCHD 5 years ago, your annual dividend income has nearly doubled just from growth alone. This is the power of compound interest working in your favor. SCHD is incredibly selective. It only owns companies that have paid dividends for at least 10 consecutive years and pass strict financial planning screens for quality. We're talking about companies like Chevron, Cisco, PepsiCo, and Home Depot, dividend aristocrats with fortress balance sheets. The current dividend yield sits at 3.92%, which might seem modest compared to JEPI. But here's what makes SCHD special. That 3.92% is growing at 13% per year. Harry learned this lesson the hard way. His original dividend stocks were paying 5 to 6% yields, but the payouts stayed flat for years. Meanwhile, SCHD's lower yield was actually overtaking his high-yield stocks because of consistent growth. With an expense ratio of just 0.06%, SCHD is practically free to own. That's $6 per year on every $10,000 invested. Compare that to actively managed funds, charging 1% or more. The fund rebalances automatically, removing companies that cut dividends and replacing them with new quality names. It's like having a financial advisor constantly monitoring your investment strategy for free. ETF Overview Number 3. The Broad Market Dividend Foundation. The third piece of this wealth-building puzzle is the fund that gives you the broadest exposure to America's dividend-paying companies. Enter the Vanguard High Dividend Yield ETF, ticker VYM. VYM is the diversification king. While SCHD owns about 100 companies and JEPI owns 110, VYM holds 582 dividend-paying stocks. It's like owning a slice of every major dividend payer in America. The dividend yield currently sits at 2.57%, and the fund distributes quarterly. But here's VYM's superpower: risk reduction through massive diversification. VYM's top holding represents just 6.44% of the fund. Compare that to individual stocks where you might have 10 to 20% of your investment portfolio in a single company. This spread-out approach means no single company can devastate your income stream. The expense ratio? Just 0.06%, matching SCHD's rock-bottom fees. Vanguard's nonprofit structure means they pass cost savings directly to investors. VYM has delivered solid dividend growth of about 6.85% over the past decade. Not as aggressive as SCHD, but steady and reliable. It's the tortoise in this three-fund race. Harry realized VYM was the perfect foundation. While SCHD focuses on quality and JEPI generates high current income, VYM provides stability and broad market exposure. It's the steady base that lets the other two funds shine. The fund survived the 2008 financial crisis, the COVID crash, and every market downturn since 2006. That's the kind of resilience you want in a retirement income strategy. Here's where it gets exciting. Let me show you exactly how Harry combined these three ETFs to build his passive income machine. Harry's simple three-fund strategy: 40% SCHD, quality dividend growth; 30% VYM, broad market foundation; 30% JEPI, high monthly income. This creates a weighted dividend yield of 4.45%. Here's how I calculate that: 3.92% x 40%, plus 2.57% x 30%, plus 7.72% x 30%, 4.45%. Starting with $500 monthly contributions and assuming 7% annual returns, here's what this creates. After 10 years, total portfolio value, $87,400. Annual dividend income, $3,890. $87,400 x 4.45%. Monthly passive income, $324. After 20 years, total portfolio value, $245,800. Annual dividend income, $10,940. $245,800 x 4.45%. Monthly passive income, $912. After 30 years, total portfolio value, $610,500. Annual dividend income, $27,170. $610,500 x 4.45%. Monthly passive income, $2,264. But here's where it gets really interesting. What if Harry increases his contributions by just 3% annually, matching typical salary raises? With 3% annual increases, after 30 years, $975,400. Portfolio value, annual dividend income, $43,410. $975,400 x 4.45%. Monthly passive income, $3,618. That's enough to replace salary for many Americans, built through systematic investing in just 3 ETFs. Remember, these projections assume modest 7% total returns and current dividend yields. SCHD's historical 12% dividend growth could push these numbers much higher. If you found this helpful so far, smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow and reach more investors who need this information. Now here's where the real magic happens. Dividend reinvestment. Harry made one crucial decision that accelerated his results. He reinvested every dividend payment automatically. Instead of spending the quarterly payments from SCHD and VYM, or the monthly payments from JEPI, he used them to buy more shares. This creates a snowball effect. More shares generate more dividends, which buy more shares, which generate even more dividends. It's compound interest on steroids. Here's the difference. Dividend reinvestment makes with $500 monthly contributions over 20 years. Without dividend reinvestment, taking dividends as cash. Portfolio value, $245,800, 7% annual growth on contributions only. Plus dividends taken as cash, $109,400 over 20 years. Combined wealth, $355,200. With dividend reinvestment, portfolio value, $327,600. Dividends compounded back into growth. That's $82,400 more wealth from reinvestment alone. The calculation assumes 7% base returns plus the compounding effect of reinvesting that 4.45% annual yield. Each dividend payment buys more shares, which generate more dividends next quarter. The reinvestment approach builds wealth faster, but you can switch to taking dividends as income whenever you're ready. Many investors reinvest during their accumulation years, then flip to income mode in retirement. JEPI's monthly payments make this especially powerful. Instead of waiting 3 months between reinvestment opportunities, you're buying more shares every month, smoothing out market volatility through dollar-cost averaging. This is exactly how Warren Buffett built his fortune, letting compound interest do the heavy lifting over decades. Why this beats stock picking. Plus risk. Recap. Harry used to spend hours picking individual dividend stocks, until one by one, they let him down. Johnson & Johnson faced lawsuits. General Electric slashed payouts. AT&T cut dividends to reduce debt. One misstep, and your income stream collapses. That's the danger of stock picking. Company-specific risk. But with these 3 ETFs, Harry found protection. SCHD removes dividend cutters automatically. VYM diversifies across 582 companies. JEPI generates income from option premiums, not just dividends. You also get automatic rebalancing, professional management, and built-in diversification, without needing 6 figures to replicate it yourself. Are there risks? Of course. JEPI may lag in bull markets due to its covered call strategy. SCHD VYM are equity-based, so they still fluctuate with the market. Rising interest rates can reduce dividend appeal. But this strategy wins through balance. SCHD focuses on quality growth. VYM spreads risk. JEPI delivers steady monthly income, no matter the market mood.